Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing at UC Davis Commencement. My name is Sam Bishop-Green, and I serve as Chief of Staff for Dean Stephen Cavanagh. Before we begin, I'd like to ask that you pause and reflect as we acknowledge the land. The ceremony is being held in the Mondavi Center on the UC Davis campus, which sits on Putland lands. The video was recorded in the Native American contemplative garden a few feet from where you sit at this moment.
We should take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we are gathered. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of Patwin people. Today, there are 3 federally recognized Patwin tribes: Kachil Dihi Band of Wintoon Indians of the Calusa Indian Community, Quetzal Dihi Wintoon Nation, and Yochadehi Wintoon Nation. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. It has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional homelands.
We are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional lands. Our distinguished graduating class includes 7 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy, 41 candidates for the Master of Science, and 61 for the Master of Health Services. Today, the mace is carried by our Marshal, Dr. Amy Nichols, Associate Dean for Academics and Clinical Professor at the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing. After the processional, Crissia Regalo from the UC Davis Department of Music will then sing the national anthem. Students have worked hard to get to this special moment. Family and friends have supported them throughout and have traveled from near and far to celebrate and commemorate this milestone. In light of everything going on in the world and at home, we owe it to all of our graduates to give them the best day possible today. It is with this in mind that we request you please silence your cell phones, stay in your seats, and keep the aisles clear. Actions that prevent our speakers from being heard, block the cameras or view of the speakers or stage, or prevent students from crossing the stage are not permitted. For families with small children and babies, please stay for the ceremony, even if the kids get restless or fussy. We want all families to enjoy today. If you do, however, need a moment, the ceremony is broadcast on the television monitors in the lobby for your enjoyment. Let's celebrate this moment in the spirit of mutual respect and caring that guides us at UC Davis. Thank you for your respect and assistance in keeping the event focused on celebrating every graduate's accomplishment today.
Hi, good morning, everyone. The 2024 commencement of the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing at the University of California, Davis is now assembled. Audience, please stand, rise, and remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Audience, participants, please be seated. Distinguished guests, Dean Stephen Cavanagh, Dean of the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing, will now join us.
Good morning, everybody. I just feel so much energy today, and rightly so. This is a tremendous day for us to celebrate the tremendous achievements of everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the incredible graduates of the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing at UC Davis. Today, we stand at a pivotal moment in time, a moment that symbolizes the culmination of many years of work. But more than that, it represents a beginning filled with endless possibilities and opportunities to make a profound impact on the world around us. At this time, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce members of our stage party. The first group of people I'll introduce are academic colleagues, but are great friends of the School of Nursing, and I'm delighted they'll be able to join us. First, Richard Corsi, Dean of the College of Engineering. Phil Cass, Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. Sean Keister, Vice Chancellor for Development and Alumni Relations. Susan Murren, Interim Dean of the School of Medicine. Tom Smith, Dean of the School of Education. I'd also like to take this opportunity, as they are looking at you at the moment, to thank the amazing work of our faculty. And this is just my one opportunity in a collective gathering with us to thank all the faculty for the tremendous amount of work they have done to get every graduate today to this point. I'm sure you want to thank them for all their effort. Our faculty. As we gather here today, let us pause to reflect on the journey that has brought us here this moment. A journey characterized by the collective efforts of our students, faculty, alumni, and staff. Together, we have achieved remarkable milestones and set the stage for even greater accomplishments in the future years. The Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing lies at the intersection of many things, including humanity, innovation, empathy, diversity, and leadership. It is through these guiding principles that we have flourished. In today's ever-changing landscape, our graduates are not just prepared to meet the challenges ahead, they are poised to embrace them with courage, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Amid shifting political climates and dynamic healthcare landscapes, our students have been equipped with the skills, knowledge, and compassion needed to navigate the uncertainty of our times. Today, I urge each and every one of you to embrace this moment as an opportunity to fulfill the vision of our school's co-founder, Betty Irene Moore. Her legacy lives on in each of us, inspiring us to push boundaries, challenge conventions, and strive for a better tomorrow. Mrs. Moore sadly passed away in December. We will hear more about her legacy from our keynote speaker momentarily. As we honor Mrs. Moore's memory, let us all celebrate the incredible strides we have made in advancing her vision. From pioneering degree programs to addressing critical healthcare needs in rural communities, we have consistently risen to the occasion, driving innovation and transforming lives in the process. Yes, the road ahead may be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but it is our response to these moments that defines us. With the spirit of Mrs. Moore as our guide, we press forward, fueled by a shared commitment to excellence and a relentless pursuit of better ways to serve our patients, our communities, and the world at large. To our graduates, I extend my deepest gratitude for the invaluable lessons you have taught us and the profound impact you are destined to make. As you embark on this next chapter of your journey, remember that you are not alone. You are part of a community that believes in your potential and stands ready to support you every step of the way. Congratulations, class of 2023 and 2024. May you continue to meet the moment with courage, compassion, and unwavering determination. The world awaits your brilliance, and have no doubt that you will be successful in everything that you do. It is now my esteemed honor to welcome our Chancellor of UC Davis, Dr. Gary May. And I always hope this little introduction does him credit, but we'll see how this goes. Chancellor May is a highly engaged leader, passionate about helping others succeed. He's championed diversity, equity, and inclusion in both higher education and the workplace. Dr. May earned his master's and PhD in electrical engineering and computer science at UC Berkeley. He was inducted into the National Academy of Engineering in 2018. In 2021, Dr. May was awarded a Lifetime Mentor Award from the American Association of the Advancement of Science and an honorary degree from the Georgia Institute of Technology. His vision as UC Davis' 7th Chancellor is to lead the university to new heights of academic excellence, inclusion, public service, and upward mobility for students from all backgrounds. It's my distinct pleasure to invite Dr. May to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Cavanagh. Families, faculty, guests, and the classes of 2023 and 2024, welcome to this momentous occasion. Today, we honor the achievements of our remarkable graduates, the future change agents who will lead their communities and make healthcare more equitable. As registered nurses, physician's assistants, and PhD-prepared researchers and educators, you will transform access to healthcare and patient treatment here in California and around the world. You will heal individual patients and the communities where they live. Because you believe in better, you will care for patients compassionately and fight to improve the social conditions that undermine personal and community health. Your diverse experiences will serve every corner and community in the state, ensuring access is not a barrier to care. You will harness the critical thinking skills, life-saving techniques, and problem-solving research strategies you developed at the School of Nursing. You will tackle the social determinants of health and deliver culturally appropriate solutions rooted in empathy and understanding. You will use the training you received to provide dedicated, holistic care that is not just effective, but equitable, and ensure that every person is given the best opportunity to lead a healthy life. You are the beating heart of the healthcare system and will work tirelessly to ensure everyone has a compassionate advocate with an ear ready to listen, a skilled healthcare leader leveraging cutting-edge care, and a teacher willing to offer the tools to improve health. These graduates will carry on the legacy of the school's namesake, Betty Irene Moore. She believed nurses could be better educated and prepared as leaders in patient rooms and their communities. Her vision expanded to include physician assistants and advanced practice providers. Still, the goal remains the same: to treat each patient with dignity and the highest quality of research-based care. This belief in improving healthcare and innovative healthcare education drove Betty Irene Moore and Dr. Gordon Moore's commitment to combining technology and patient-centered approaches to advance healthcare in every community. Their mission to set up students for success after graduation in an increasingly complex healthcare environment is at the heart of everything we do at the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing. As you graduate today, you are poised to carry their legacy of bold systemic change and optimal health and health equity for all. As graduates, you will innovate through research and expand your knowledge to meet the needs of the state. You will be role models and mentors for students from diverse backgrounds and ensure that practitioners look like the communities we serve. As I look out on you graduates, I know that if you share your gifts and realize your limitless potential, you can help mend a world that so needs your extraordinary minds and compassionate hearts. I see the people who will heal our planet, bridge the divides that separate us, and build a more just and equitable future in the communities they will serve. I see the bright heart of healthcare in California and the world, and I could not have more faith in that future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor May. As I mentioned a little earlier, our co-founder, Betty Irene Moore, passed away in late 2023. She remains in our hearts and our mission. So we thought it only fitting that our keynote speaker today would be somebody who could speak to Mrs. Moore's legacy and how it still relates to our graduates today. Susan Beatty-Song is a healthcare and philanthropic consultant who for 10 years led the efforts of the Betty and Gordon Moore Foundation to support nursing leadership and innovation. During that decade, she worked closely with faculty and staff here at the School of Nursing. Her collaborative support and strategic grant making were integral to the success of key initiatives in the school, including our nationally well-known Family Caregiving Institute, and even more, perhaps better known, our leadership program for Betty Irene Moore Fellows and Nurse Leaders. She has held roles in private philanthropy, leadership, development, and healthcare policy research. This morning, I welcome Susan Beatty-Song. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you to Dean Cavanagh, Chancellor May, esteemed faculty, distinguished guests, proud family and friends, and most importantly, today's graduates of the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing. I'm honored and grateful to be joining today's commencement ceremonies. Congratulations to all of the remarkable graduates and to all who have supported you in getting here today. Today is a day of celebration, reflection, and anticipation. We gather to honor your hard work, commitment, and the bright futures that lie ahead of you. I have been privileged and deeply proud to share in several of the School of Nursing celebrations and milestones. I was fortunate to join the groundbreaking ceremonies for the school's home, Betty Irene Moore Hall, and most recently for the first in-person convocation for the Betty Irene Moore Fellowship for Nurse Leaders and Innovators. Much like today, each of these occasions has celebrated the dedication, creativity, and thoughtfulness of the school's faculty and staff, the inspiring contributions of the school's students, and you, its new graduates, are making in the community, in the greater Sacramento region, in the state of California, and throughout the world. These occasions also provide the opportunity to reflect on the school's namesake, Betty Irene Moore. And this is perhaps even more meaningful today. As Dean Cavanagh mentioned, Betty passed away in December of last year. While she may not be here to see this, Betty's generosity and passion for improving the human condition has had a lasting impact on the field of nursing. Betty's dedication to improving healthcare and education continues to benefit countless individuals and communities, including all of us gathered here today. Betty Irene Moore came from humble roots with an ever-present love for outdoor adventure, a real passion for fishing, and spending time enjoying the simplicity of the outdoors with her family. During their marriage, Gordon Moore would become a co-founder of the Intel Corporation, and with the success of Intel and the great fortune that provided, Gordon and Betty sought ways to have a significant and positive impact in the world. As Betty once simply stated, "You want to give back to society. We wanted to make things better for other people." When the time came for Gordon and Betty to determine which of the world's issues the foundation and their philanthropy would work to address, it was Betty's experiences as a caregiver and patient that drove her interest in funding nursing, and specifically nursing research, education, and leadership. While receiving care in an inpatient hospital unit, Betty experienced a medical error. She was given, by a nurse, a medication that was meant to be given to another patient. Thankfully, Betty recovered, and thankfully for the field of nursing, this experience stayed with Betty. Instead of looking to place blame on the clinician who provided her with the incorrect medication or penalizing the hospital, Betty decided to invest in the nursing profession and nursing education to make things better, to provide training and educational opportunities for nurses, to create a nursing school, this nursing school here at UC Davis, whose graduates promote health, advance quality of care and safety, and who shape policy, to ensure the nursing profession would be able to create an enduring impact in healthcare. In reflecting today, perhaps this is one of the greatest lessons to learn from Betty. When you see a problem, don't place blame. Instead, focus on solving the problem. Work with the resources you have to create a sustainable solution. We have to be able to adapt if we're going to move forward in a changing world. And as healthcare has evolved, so has Betty's legacy. It was important to her that the foundation continued to work with an eye to create good in the world through support of the School of Nursing. Her vision of nursing expanded to include other members of the healthcare team, like today's graduating physician's assistants. This can also be seen in the continued investments of efforts like the Family Caregiving Institute, the Betty Irene Moore Fellowship for Nurse Leaders, and most recently, support of the school's doctoral program. Each investment a way to further improve care and ensure an enduring impact in the field. As you graduate from the School of Nursing and embark on your clinical and research careers, you will no doubt face challenges. You will encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable, face failures that sting, and experience setbacks that will test your resolve. In these moments, it is all too easy to point fingers, to cast blame on circumstances, on others, or even on ourselves. What I encourage you to do instead is follow Betty's example and work to find ways to overcome these challenges without a focus on the blame. Work to find ways to address issues head-on. Whether you encounter systemic issues within healthcare, gaps in patient care, or the need for better communication among healthcare teams, approach these challenges with a mindset geared toward problem solving and collaboration. Use the education, training, and leadership skills you have to make positive changes in the world. You have participated in hours of clinical skills training, completed your academic coursework, answered research questions that will contribute to healthcare practice and policy, created connections, professional and personal. You've learned to work across the clinical team to provide high-quality care. You've put in long hours of study and practice to prepare you for a profession that is going to continue to require dedication, innovation, thoughtfulness, and your openness to change. But most importantly, you've been prepared to work with others to solve important problems. You've been prepared to tackle problems knowing you have the tools and knowledge and resources to not get distracted, but to create an innovative solution for your patients, for your profession, and for the healthcare system. As healthcare evolves and the nursing profession evolves, new challenges are going to arise and new problems are going to come to the forefront. It will take ongoing assessment and creativity and perseverance to make the changes needed in healthcare, to create true enduring impact. The investments in the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing reflect a commitment to nurturing future leaders like you, leaders who are prepared to think critically, act compassionately, and drive change. Nurses and physician's assistants who sit at the heart of the healthcare system, providing dignified and respectful care to patients and their families. Just as Betty's philanthropy has created a ripple effect, empowering countless individuals and improving countless lives, you too have the power to make a profound difference. As you embark on your careers, use the knowledge and skills you've gained to challenge the status quo, advocate for your patients, and lead with empathy and integrity. Embrace the opportunities before you to make healthcare more equitable, accessible, and effective. In closing, I urge you to see every challenge as an opportunity, every setback as a chance to learn, and every patient as a person deserving of the highest quality care. You are the future of healthcare, and you have the potential to change the world. As a patient, a parent, a caregiver, and a community member, I wait with gratitude and anticipation for all that you will accomplish. Thank you and congratulations to the graduates. Here's to your bright and impactful future.
Thank you, Susan. We all owe such a debt of gratitude to the Moores and all they've done to advance health. Hello, I'm Puri Ackerman-Barger, Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Health Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion at the School of Nursing. I'm here today to announce the 2024 Awards for Student Excellence. The Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing at UC Davis cultivates academic excellence and addresses urgent societal needs through 5 core attributes: community connection, diversity and inclusion, leadership, innovative solutions, and collaboration. After nominations from their peers, 5 students are selected for exemplifying these values. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to receive your award from Dean Cavanagh. I would like to have join me now. Please remain on stage so we can recognize all 5 recipients at the end. The first award for excellence in leadership goes to Santiago Gonzalez Garcia. Santiago served as class president for the Master's Entry Program in Nursing cohort. Classmates say he played a pivotal role throughout by advocating for the cohort and having impact for the changes as needed for a successful outcome. He is a born leader and takes into consideration others before self, while demonstrating resourcefulness and compassion for those he works and serves. Santiago takes initiative, advocates for his colleagues, and leads by example. Congratulations, Santiago. The award for excellence in community connection goes to Charlotte Palafox. The Master's Entry Program in Nursing class of 2023 says Charlotte is tirelessly positive in her leadership and was integral in creating opportunities for the cohort to get involved with the community. For external community, she coordinated community health fairs, flu vaccine events, and Meals on Wheels activities. Internally, for her classmates, she led career development, resume building, and training workshops. Her initiative sparked a network of connections to make positive impact in the community. Congratulations, Charlotte. The award for excellence in collaboration goes to Mary Angeline Artilli. Mary's physician assistant classmates say she bridges the gap between faculty and the class, creating a sense of community and boosting collaboration in and out of the classroom. She's not afraid to speak up, and she always makes herself available to listen. She makes it a point to interact with the program staff and act as a true liaison and advocate for the class of 2024. She is a great leader who will make a passionate PA. Congratulations, Mary. The award for excellence in innovative solutions goes to Marla Schauer. Her peers in the Doctor of Philosophy program say that Marla's dedication and scholarship in her doctoral pursuit are commendable and deserving. Her exemplary and innovative dissertation examining the birth experiences of women who have experienced pressure to have obstetric interventions evaluates women's experiences of care from a unique perspective. With its focus on health equity, Marla's work embodies the vision of the School of Nursing, and her innovative approach yields results in important clinical, policy, and ethical implications. Congratulations, Marla. The award for excellence in diversity, equity, and inclusion goes to Val Torrico. Val's PA classmates say she does a great job celebrating the culture of others. She acknowledges the difficulties that disadvantaged groups experience and makes it a value of hers to support such groups. Val has also provided a lot of help and hope for future PA students through workshops, speaker panels, and even through social media. She embodies what it takes to be accountable and is doing a great job at making the PA community shine. Congratulations, Val. On behalf of everyone at the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing at UC Davis, we congratulate today's award recipients for their achievements and for serving as examples of these core values.
It is now turn to celebrate our graduates. The three cohorts have selected a student to represent each of their programs today and share their experiences and hopes for the future. Representing the Master's Entry Program in Nursing, Santiago Gonzalez Garcia. Santiago.
Good morning, faculty, staff, family, friends, and graduates. My name is Santiago Garcia, and I had the honor and privilege as serving as one of my cohort's class representatives and as co-chair of the Graduate Health Professionals Council for the School of Nursing, alongside my friend and colleague, Erica Stansfield. 2 years ago, we were preparing to start a new chapter in our lives as students in the Master's Entry Program in Nursing. As I sat down to write this speech, I reflected on the feelings of excitement and nervousness I had the days prior to orientation, feelings that I'm sure many of my peers shared as well. I also reflected on the community we had amongst each other. On a very warm day in late June 2022, 41 strangers met for the first time. During orientation, I could sense that the dynamic of our cohort was going to be special due to the quick intermixing and mingling of peers that carried into the first week of instruction and beyond. We used the opportunity to learn about the individuals that we would be spending the next 18 months with. We learned about what drew each one of us to the profession and the commitments that many of us had outside of being graduate students in a rigorous and accelerated program. My cohort comprises of spouses, parents, caregivers, individuals who had to work, and everything else in between. The early weeks of the program comprised of countless hours learning and practicing skills that are the very foundation of nursing. The poor mannequins had to endure listening to us practice to the monologues we recited as we entered the patient's room, interacted with the patient, and passed medications. Before exams, our Graduate Student Association president, Nolan Gabriel, would lead us in what we referred to as the prayer circle, where we would hold hands as he inspired us to reduce test anxiety. I thought about the very lively "let's go" mantra that Tanja Copeland lives by and would say to the class throughout the program to keep us motivated. The post-exam or end of the quarter group outings where we shared a meal with each other without the stressors of exams, clinical rotations, and care plans are some of my favorite memories of nursing school. It was a moment where we could be present with one another while we reconnected after a stressful exam or a long, difficult quarter. Lastly, I looked to the future. I know the future of nursing is bright because of the colleagues I went to school with. They are some of the smartest, passionate, and caring individuals that I know. Many are passionate about serving vulnerable populations and making a difference in the communities in which they grew up. They see their patient as a person and not a diagnosis or a number. I see future nurse leaders and innovators that will make huge impacts in their places of employment while elevating the nursing profession. Before I end my speech, I would like to take a moment to thank the faculty and staff of the Betty Irene School of Nursing for their continued support over the last 2 years. We owe our knowledge and wisdom to you. I would also like to take a moment to thank the family and friends that are here with us in person, watching remotely, or are with us in spirit. It takes a village, and I'm sure that your graduate could not have done this without your support. To my colleagues, if you ever come across feelings of imposter syndrome, I want you to remember all the hard work you put in and the obstacles you overcame to get to this point. You deserve this. Rejoice in this huge accomplishment and milestone in your life. In the words of Dr. Ruggenberg from Pinning in December, we're not just nurses. We're Betty Irene Moore nurses. We are leaders, problem solvers, and change agents. I want you to remember the school's mission and vision as you move forward in your careers and let that guide you. I could not have asked for a better group of people to go through this journey with. My life was made better because you are in it. I look forward to seeing the amazing things that you accomplish throughout your healthcare careers. Congratulations to the graduating classes of 2023 and 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Santiago. Representing the Physician Assistant Program this morning is Noel Daly.
Good morning. It's like, bear with me, I have a myriad of emotions going on right now, so I apologize if I stutter at all. Okay. Graduates, friends, family, and faculty of UC Davis, it is my distinguished honor to be standing here today as student speaker for the 2022-2024 Physician Assistant Program. Behind me is a sea of remarkable individuals whom I'm privileged to be representing this morning. When thinking about my experiences these last 2 years, I can't help but reflect on these outstanding individuals I've grown to love throughout my time in the program. From rollerblading in Roseville, spending summer evenings at Drake's with great conversation, but even better company, competing in the Challenge Bowl at last year's Capicon, and of course, devoting countless hours at the library, studying together, I like to think that we slowly became a family throughout the duration of it all. In those first few weeks of the program, I was fortunate enough to be placed at a table with 5 other brilliant ladies. Although remarkably different, we all seemingly meshed so well. Being the only female table, we wanted to create a group name that was both clever, but also witty and punny, so we decided on At Your Cervix, a medical pun playing on the words at your service, but with a feminine twist included. I remember thinking, I finally found them. Like-minded individuals who also found pleasure in the same medical humor I did. I remember laughing those first few months in the program more than I had in quite some time. I think the beauty of this cohort lies in the uniquity we all bring. Our collective experiences are all so vast. Some worked previously as respiratory therapists, paramedics, dialysis technicians, medical assistants, you name it. I can wholeheartedly say I've learned something new from each and every single person in the cohort, and the faculty as well. We all come from different walks of life with unique perspectives to bring to the table, and due to that, I feel I'm a more empathetic, informed, and capable healthcare professional just by knowing them all. I like to think we've forged some unforgettable bonds during our time together. We've been each other's shoulder to cry on, celebrated each other's achievements, and have been the voice of reason for one another when the self-doubt inevitably crept in. When I think of this program, I can't help but think, too, of the compassion and humanity they bestowed upon me in my darkest moment. In October of this last year, our second week into our first clinical rotation, I lost my mom unexpectedly. What was supposed to be the most exciting time in our clinical careers became one of the most devastating for me. But within hours of finding out, my phone was flooded with messages and emails from various people in the program, students, faculty, instructors alike, expressing their condolences. Not more than a week later, a GoFundMe page created in her honor had already amassed nearly $6,500 in that small amount of time. And the thoughtfulness didn't stop there. Whether it was periodic check-ins, just seeing how I was doing, messages expressing they were thinking of me, or food gift cards that were just sent so my family and I would remember to eat, those small acts of kindness are what kept me going day to day. I can firmly say I wouldn't be graduating on this stage today without them all. Knowing I had this program to fall back on is what kept me afloat, and every accomplishment I've had and been able to achieve since October is large part and due to all of them. And for that, I will forever be thankful. This is how I know, and personally have no doubts, that these generous and kind-hearted people behind me are going to make excellent healthcare providers in the mere coming months. I forever will be indebted to this program for the resilience it has taught us as well. Somewhere between early this year and October of last, I lost my spark. I started to question whether this was really something I could continue doing since my mom wasn't here anymore, and she, along with my dad, were my biggest sources of inspiration. The beauty about clinical year is that you're able to interact with real patients, and in many ways it reminds us of our why for deciding to embark on PA school. For the first 15 months of the program, we complete what's called the didactic year, where we learn the pathophysiology of various diseases and pharmacological interventions aimed at treating those disorders. The last 12 months are then spent implementing that knowledge by caring for patients under supervision of medical doctors and advanced practice providers in various fields of medicine. For me, clinical year has been a cathartic release and an ability to reflect on my own experiences. And this was ever more so true when I landed in cardiothoracic surgery as my selective rotation, where I was seeing cases like I had experienced with my mom. Whereas some may have strayed from such an environment, I embodied it, and I used it as a time to reflect on what I had been through with her and what I hope to achieve in the future as a healthcare professional myself. When I look at the stage of my fellow classmates, soon-to-be graduates, and future colleagues, I'm filled with excitement, as I know they will continue to progress the PA profession forward. Just this last year, fellow classmates of mine reinstated the AAPA student chapter here at UC Davis, allowing for greater immersion into the profession, as well as expansion of learning opportunities that would provide additional clinical skills. I know in my heart that this cohort will continue to keep that fervor alive and will make their mark on the world. So, to the wonderful people behind me, we're on the precipice of this next chapter in our lives, and we just need to keep pushing for these next few months until the end is here. Each and every single one of you has something spectacular inside of you, and it's our time to shine and leave our everlasting footprint on the world of patient care. As the infamous Derek McDreamy Shepherd from Grey's Anatomy would say, it's a beautiful day for saving lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Noelle. Representing the Doctor of Philosophy program, I'd like to invite Tia Cadieux.
Well, the nerves are high for me too, so. We gather today to celebrate. We celebrate accomplishments. We celebrate curiosity and the creativity to turn that curiosity into science. We celebrate the friends and family who have been with us throughout the journey, but most of all, we celebrate courage. Why? The PhD journey is an act of liberation. It begins with loss, either ours or someone else. It begins with the ways in which generations past have been let down. It begins with the recognition that change is necessary. Being willing to seek change means that you must let go of attachment to the past. You have to be willing to lose. We start the journey by asking, therefore, how do we get here? How can we change things for the future? We examine other people's ideas about change. We seek guidance from experts as we strive to obtain expertise ourselves. We build new concepts, new ideas, and we talk with our friends, colleagues, mentors, and even our critics about these ideas. Eventually, at some point along the way, our efforts have produced something: our first paper, our first analysis, our first scientific poster. These things are distillations of our burdens, our initiative, our will, and yes, the quality of available support. When the journey goes well, it can be experienced harmoniously. When it is harmonious, we can share it with others. But it's not always harmonious. Sometimes, therefore, we feel like we're all alone in the journey. We feel abandoned, defeated, torn. In these moments, we look within and remember the patience of a caring parent, the kisses of a loving grandparent, and the encouragement of a supporting mentor or boss. In the darkness, our past and present unite, and we find the strength to rise. We are now made whole. In harmony, we hope to heal our communities and inspire future generations. As we begin a new chapter, we remain grateful to our families, our mentors, our friends, and our colleagues who encouraged our potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Tia. And thank you to all of our speakers who beautifully expressed what it means to be a human, a student, and now a graduate of the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing. Thank you very much. I would now like to invite our Marshal, Dr. Amy Nichols, and Chancellor May to the podium. Dr. Nichols will present our graduates to the Chancellor for conferral of degrees. Dr. Nichols.
Thank you, Dean Cavanagh. The degrees conferred by the University of California attest to the scholastic achievement of the recipients. They represent the fulfillment of the university's primary duty of providing an academically excellent education. Will the candidates for the degree of Masters of Science in Nursing please rise? On behalf of the Academic Senate faculty within the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing, I hereby recommend to Chancellor May and Dean Cavanagh awarding of the Master of Science in Nursing degree to those students who have completed all of the degree requirements.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science in Nursing.
Master of Science in Nursing students, prepare to come forward. Our MEPIN Program Director, Dr. Shanna Ruggenberg, please join us in the front of the stage. Graduates of the Master's Entry Program in Nursing completed their coursework in December 2023. We hosted the traditional pinning ceremony at the time to signal the formal transition from students to nursing professionals. In the past 6 months, more than half have embarked upon their careers as registered nurses to make the difference they dreamed of when starting their journey with us. We congratulate all of you on your accomplishments. Students, please come forward when your name is announced.
Sierra Angeli Barker. Dejane Bashirs. Jessica Marie Bali. Jasmine Michelle Brown. Lena Boy. Diana Elaine Ramos Catapusan. Anna Victoria Cooper Huber. Tanya Anita Copeland. Jasmine Della Rosa. Santiago Gonzalez Garcia III. Tyler Scott Gibson. Adriana Guerrero Tapia. Jennifer Javalet. Jennifer Marie Lopez. Mindy Mai. Alia McBroom. Christina Amber Navarro. Shalette Carey Palafox. Noreen Robinson. Leslie Denise Torres. Hang Tiffany Tran. Arlene Christie Torcios. Cassandra Vath. Anita Velasquez. Xochitl Alani Villagrana. Christine Magali Vimbella. Trevor Wentland. Cho-Zin Nguyen.
Exciting, huh? The degrees conferred by the University of California attest to the scholastic achievement of the recipients. They represent the fulfillment of the university's primary duty of providing an academically excellent education. Candidates for the degree of Masters of Health Science, Physician Assistant Studies, please rise. On behalf of the Academic Senate faculty within the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing, I hereby recommend to Chancellor May and Dean Cavanagh awarding the Masters of Health Science Physician Assistant Studies degree to those students who have completed all degree requirements.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the degree Master of Health Services, Physician Assistant Studies.
Masters of Health Science Physician Assistant Studies students prepare to come forward. PA Program Professor Dr. Phil Emond, please join us in front of the stage. Graduates of the Masters of Health Science Physician Assistant Studies class complete 27 months of rigorous coursework and experiential rotations. Not only have these future PAs learned the clinical knowledge needed for their careers, but at the School of Nursing, they developed the critical thinking skills to enable them to lead teams and improve health equity for better patient care. They also develop an appreciation for different perspectives and collaboration when working in interprofessional teams on evidence-based research projects. We are eager to see how you improve care in our communities. Students, please come forward when your name is announced.
Nilufar Abdul. Mohammed Adal. Daniel Alonso. Sabrina Arsala. Mary Angeline Artilli. Gabriel Incleto Bascara. Mary Gina Bionden. Braden Cole Bowis. Brigitte Bowers. Leah Alexandra Castleberry. Noelle Elizabeth Daly. Haley Dang Trin. Vanessa Dow. Eric Davis. Maria Therese Delfino. Tra Sun Do. Lily Zoom. Jacob Duran. Amy Marie Elizaga. Elizabeth Ellis Falick. Christine Garcia. Philip Manoise Gernert. Jessica Gonzalez. Sabrina Hakim. Irvin Hernandez. Ryan Ho. Dana Ismail. Gana Kozik. Jin Yu Lan. Anthony Liu. Brianna Morton. Esther Navarro. Concepcion Paz Gonzalez. Brianna Perot. Ronaldin Reyes. Ome Olin Ruiz. Sandra Marie Ruiz Ambries. Sarah Salas Huang. Eneda Sanchez Tagle. Shireen Shaheen. Samantha Stevens. Valesky Torrico. Viridiana S. van den Hengel Gomez. Ana Maria B. Vasilieva. Lucas Nathan Vine. Dustin D. Weaver. Megan Yamamoto. Caitlin Young. Amanullah Zadran. Osvaldo Sarco Bravo. Jinwei Zhao.
The degrees conferred by the University of California attest to the scholastic achievement of the recipients. They represent the fulfillment of the university's primary duty of providing an academically excellent education. Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, please rise. On behalf of the Academic Senate faculty within the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing, I hereby recommend to Chancellor May and Dean Cavanagh awarding the Doctor of Philosophy degree to those students who have completed all degree requirements.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Doctor of Philosophy students, prepare to come forward. PhD Program Director Dr. Cheryl Katz, please join us in the front of the stage. Members of our doctoral class have strengthened their independent research skills while discovering innate strengths many of them didn't even know they had. They entered during the pandemic, pushed through the challenges, and arrived at the other end stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Now they will tackle scientific inquiry and become the transformative leaders in nursing they imagined they could be. Doctor of Philosophy students, please come forward to be hooded when your name is announced.
Nicole Cressy Hebert.
Nicole's dissertation is on the mechanism of inquiry, hospital length of stay, and discharge disposition by sex and TBI severity. Her dissertation chair is Janice Bell.
Tayuta Cadillo.
Tia's dissertation is exploring the perceptions of ambiguous loss among spouses of persons with dementia. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Mark Fedek.
Carrie Maya.
Carrie's dissertation is applying the consolidated framework for implementation research to a delirium protective wake and walking model of critical care. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Cheryl Katz.
Claire Min Nguyen.
Claire's dissertation is Associations between Pain Interference and Late Life Cognitive Function among Diverse Community-Dwelling Older Adults. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Janice Bell.
Kayleen Roseman.
Kayleen's dissertation is Health Beliefs and Cultural Factors Influencing the Barriers to Effective Blood Pressure Management Among Hypertensive Adults in Barbados. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Leanne Simmons.
Marla Shower.
Marla's dissertation is Pressure to Have Obstetric Interventions and Its Impact on Respectful Maternity Care, a mixed methods analysis of ratings and experiences from the National Giving Voices to Mothers study. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Janice Bell. And now Dean Cavanagh for our closing remarks.
Congratulations, graduates. And thank you, Chancellor May and Susan, for marking this incredible milestone for our graduates today. At this point, I'd just like to take a few minutes to thank all the staff, both in this hall and from the School of Nursing, that has made today's event happen as smoothly as it has. So I want to personally thank all the staff led by Tina and her colleagues for making this such a wonderful event for all of us. I'm sure you'll share my appreciation. Distinguished guests, this almost concludes our commencement ceremony for the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing. Will the graduates please rise? Well, I hope you feel better after that. I'm quite thrilled, yes. To all the graduates gathered here today, you represent the realization of countless hopes and dreams held by your loved ones. Let's take a moment to acknowledge and applaud the parents, partners, families, and supporters whose unwavering encouragement has brought you to this milestone. Thank you, folks. Graduates, you are the beacon of hope for a brighter future in healthcare, wherever in the individual, the family, in the community, in the population, and we drive for equitable care and all those things that we hold important to us. Today, you stand as accomplished pioneers, ready to embrace opportunity and drive change, holding the potential to shape healthcare into the compassionate, inclusive, intellectually rigorous, person-centered, and high-quality delivery we all aspire to. As you step into the world and become one of our alum, we take pride in the knowledge that you will emerge as compassionate providers, dedicated caregivers, innovative researchers, inspiring educators, and visionary leaders. Graduates, we also have this little ceremony we have in academia which signifies your transition to being a graduate. And this involves moving your tassels from the right side to the left. So, let's do this. Right side to left, folks. Yeah. We are pleased to present to you the graduating classes of the Nursing Science and Healthcare Leadership graduate degree programs of the Betty Moore School of Nursing here at UC Davis. Congratulations. And as our closing announcement, guests, may I ask that you please remain seated until the recessional has fully exited the hall. I hope you will join us for refreshments on the front steps. Thank you. It's been a wonderful morning. Thank you.